The UN Special Rapporteur on Torture is upset by Bahrain's decision to cancel his visit to the kingdom again. Juan Mendez expressed deep disappointment over Manama's move. Mendez says the Bahraini government is now trying to escape responsibility for blocking his planned visits. Bahrain's official news agency said the trip was canceled off until further notice, but Mendez says it was effectively a cancellation. This is the second time the Bahraini regime cancels a planned visit by the UN's torture expert to the Persian Gulf Kingdom. Meanwhile, Amnesty International has also criticized Manama's decision, saying the move shows Bahrain is clearly not serious about implementing human rights reforms. It says Bahraini authorities have used the buzzword of reform as a smokescreen while nothing has changed on the ground. The decision comes amid intensified crackdown on protests which have escalated in recent days. On Wednesday, Bahraini forces attacked demonstrators near the Ministry of Interior in Manama. For more on that story, we're now joined by Mr. Saeed Shahabi from the Bahrain Freedom Movement, who's joining us from London. Mr. Shahabi, welcome to the program. What explanation does Manama have for cancelling such a high-profile visit, not once, but twice? And how does this portray the Al Khalifa's claims of the situation on the ground in Bahrain?
Thank you very much. It is clear that the regime has a lot to hide. They have crimes on their hands. They have blood of the martyrs, blood of the victims of torture to hide from the international community. So they do not want anybody to see their crimes. Of course, if Juan Mendez goes to Bahrain, he will issue a verdict of guilty, a guilty verdict, serious, and we are talking about serious guilt, serious crime against humanity. Torture has been proven to have been committed by the regime as a systematic tool, not by independent observers, but even by those who had been appointed by the regime itself, like Sharif Bassiouni. He said himself that torture was systematic in Bahrain. Now, when we have an independent observer like the Special Rapporteur on Torture, his verdict would be more damning than that of Mr. Bassiouni. So this is why the regime of the Al Khalifa have decided that it is much better for them and safer not to let the Special Rapporteur to come to Bahrain than letting him and then dealing with his damning verdict after he has witnessed what had happened.
Mr. Shahabi, when will the Al Khalifa's actions trigger some kind of a response from Western countries such as the US and Britain, who have remained quite muted with regards to the Bahraini uprising?
First of all, I am baffled by the UK, USA stance supporting this dictatorial regime. Number two, I do not believe that the regime, the Al Khalifa, would ban Mr. Mendez, the Special Rapporteur, without the London and Washington being informed well in advance. Number three, the Al Khalifa feel, and they have lived under a policy of impunity, which means that it cannot be asked or questioned or made to pay for its abuses of human rights, especially that it is receiving a good and strong commitment from both London and Washington that it would be supported politically on the international scene. It will be protected from the Human Rights Council. Navi Pillai has been silent about the issue, unfortunately. Catherine Ashton and all of these people have at some stage hinted that the regime had started a reform program. Now that the most damning of all crimes, torture, is being hidden from the public eye, from the world, I think it is time for these people to come out clean and say enough is enough. You, the Al Khalifa, have committed enough crimes, and you must keep quiet and you must allow international inspection of what's going on inside not only jails but even in the streets and in the houses, torture has been going
Right.
on, especially in the past few days prior to the formula.
Thank you very much. From the Bahrain Freedom Movement, that was Mr. Saeed Shahabi. Sir, thank you very much for contributing to the program.